Hey, it's Alex, the founder and CEO of Motoroso.com, your dedicated mods marketplace. And today we're in the studio to take a close-up look at some of the most popular performance mods for the suspension on your Nissan 350Z. Now, there's lots of information out there in the world, and we do our research, and we love making these videos to help you guys find the best parts and accessories for your project build. But if you think we've missed anything, make sure you add it to the conversation in the comments section below. We love hearing from our viewers. Now, the 350Z out of the gate was a great handling vehicle, especially for the price point. But of course, it was made for the daily, everyday driver and street driving. So if you're looking to push the envelope of performance on the street or at the racetrack, there are great aftermarket options to get this car handling the best it can. So let's take a look at those right now. Now, if you're just looking to get your car lower, you can opt to just install a set of lowering springs. But our recommendation is actually not to do this. I know it's tempting because it looks cheap and it's inexpensive, not as expensive as coilovers, but they're actually harder to install. You have to fully disassemble that front McPherson strut, and you need to rent or buy a spring compressor to do that. It takes time. It's actually pretty dangerous compressing that spring. And so at the end of the day, it's really not a big improvement because you've still just got your stock OEM shocks, which on your car might be 15 or more years old at this point. And so you're stuck with this ride quality. Yes, you're gonna get your center of gravity lower. It might feel like it's riding better and handling better, but the ride quality is definitely not gonna be, it's gonna be worse than stock, honestly. And so yeah, look, if you want lowering springs, we'll put some links in the description. You can buy those from us, but we highly recommend watching the next points and making the investment to get the better ride quality, performance, handling, and adjustability that comes with proper suspension upgrades. One of the best suspension mods for any car, but definitely on the 350Z, is a proper set of coilover suspension. Now, this is going to give you three main advantages, starting with incremental ride height adjustment. Versus lowering springs, they're just going to drop you 1.5 inches or 2 inches and it's just fixed. And there you are. You actually can adjust to the 1/10 of an inch exactly where you want that car to sit to look best and perform best with the wheel and tire combination and the rake that you want, making it look exactly the way you want it to. Now, a good set of coilovers are also going to give you damping adjustments, and this allows you to actually adjust the way that the shock feels and responds to the road inputs, allowing you to tune the performance of the car exactly the way you want it. Some shocks are just going to have one dial where you go firmer or softer, and it simultaneously adjusts the rebound and compression damping. Others are going to give you independent controls. But let's talk about what the damping actually means. Compression damping, like it sounds, is actually adjusting the speed at which the shock can compress in its stroke as road forces and braking inputs are put into the car. Now, changing that to be firmer is going to basically make the shock move slower in its stroke, and you're going to feel more feedback on the road. The car's not going to dive as much when you hit the brakes, and then when you make quick steering inputs, the car's not going to dive as much to one side or the other, and that can help control body roll. Inversely, the rebound damping control allows you to control how fast the shock can rebound out of its compression stroke, and that helps eliminate that pogo stick bouncy feeling. Now, too much rebound damping can be a problem because it can cause the shock to stay in its stroke and bind up, and the ride can just get really, really harsh and not feel good. But having these adjustments allows you to tune the suspension to feel exactly the way you want it to on the street, and a different set of settings to feel exactly the way you need it to when you're trying to go fast at the racetrack. Now, of course, there's lots of great coilover options in the industry, but we're going to cover a few that we really like here. First up is the BC Racing BR Series coilovers, and it's one of the most popular options in this industry for very good reason. For only $1,000, they pack a huge amount of features and functionality into this very awesome product. It has ride height adjustment, allowing you to adjust exactly the way the car sits, get that stance that you want. 30 clicks of damping adjustments. It's integrated compression and rebound damping, but it's 30 clicks just going firmer or softer, super easy to use, allowing you to tune the car exactly the way you want it to feel. They've integrated the rear spring and shock. Instead of them being separate, they've made it into a single coilover McPherson strut. Makes it just basically an easier install. Not necessarily a performance gain, but just a little bit simpler. And that's just a crazy amount of features built into a product that's only $1,000, making it very popular, very easy to recommend to you, and we'll put a link to that in the description. Next up on the list are the products from KW Suspension. Now, KW is one of the leading manufacturers of motorsport suspension in the world, but they've translated that technology into an incredible line of street performance products that are really, really popular, starting with the KW Variant 1. Now, at $1,600, this is the perfect product for somebody that's not the guy that wants to tweak and change their damping settings. They've predetermined what the best mix of compression and rebound damping is going to be for a blend of street and occasional track day driving. So if you just want to install it, set your ride height adjustment, and then just enjoy the car, the KW Variant 1 is a great option. Next up on the list is the KW Variant 2, which for $1,950 is just under $2,000, and they pack a lot of technology into this product. Now, without getting too far into suspension technology, in KW's Motorsports line, a lot of those products, they'll offer four-way damping adjustments. They break this down into high-speed and low-speed rebound damping, high-speed and low-speed compression damping. And this might not be making too much sense as I go down this path, but think of it as the way that the shock is going to react to different types of inputs, because the road changes. You might hit a really sharp bump or a pothole. That's going to be a high-speed movement that compresses the shock very rapidly. Versus if you're going over some rollers and the car is kind of undulating, those are low-speed movements. And you can actually tune those motorsports products to behave differently in those different conditions, allowing it to handle exactly the way you want it to. Now, this shock doesn't contain all that technology, but what they've done is they've trickled down their twin valve technology into this shock. So you have one rebound damping adjustment, but their twin valve has a little conical valve and a shim that responds to the different high speed or low speed inputs differently. So you essentially get that super high-end motorsports technology into a very simple and easy to use product that allows you to tune the way this shock feels on your 350Z. This is a lot of technology in a shock for under $2,000. And last up on the KW list of products is their most popular, the Variant 3. And at $2,350, they've packed even more motorsports technology into this product. They've doubled down on that twin valve technology, giving you independent compression damping and rebound damping controls that feature those conical valves that respond differently to high and low speed inputs. Awesome technology allowing you to tune exactly the way that shock should feel. Of course, you retain the ride height adjustment, and they've also offered a piggyback reservoir, which carries more fluid in the shock, allowing it to do better and smoother damping, but also handle more heat for those long driving sessions, those long track day sessions, and not packing down on you. So this is the kind of shock that you can grow into. If you're planning to be serious about your driving, being serious at the track and getting faster and faster, this will allow you to tune those adjustments and adjust the shock as you get quicker and quicker at the track, because those settings can't stay the same. You always have to be tuning. Moving past coilovers, now let's talk about sway bars, bushings, and end links. Sway bars play an important role in preventing the body roll of your car as you're transitioning from left to right, side to side. As the car rolls, it's not easy to control and it overstresses the tire. Now, when you get an aftermarket set of sway bars, this is going to give you a stiffer bar that's going to help control that body roll better, but it's also going to give you adjustability. That adjustability is nice, but if you tune too much stiffness into the front sway bar, you're going to get understeer. That's where the front pushes out wide and it's testing the limit of the tire the other way, and you're not gonna be able to get down into your apex. If you put too much stiffness in the rear, it can be really fun. That's called oversteer, where the rear's swinging out, but it's not the fastest way around the racetrack. So having that adjustability, allowing you to get it just right, is key, and it's a perfect complement to the coilovers, so you can tune the ride of the whole vehicle exactly the way you want it for the street or for the racetrack. Now, as you get sway bars, you're also going to want to consider end links, because if you've lowered the vehicle, you need adjustable end links so that that sway bar will be in the right position and loaded properly. Additionally, good sway bar kits are going to come with polyurethane bushings, which last longer and make less noise. And they're also going to come with things like lateral locks that stops the bar from sliding side to side in the bushings, just making it more effective. Here's a few products we like. At the best price point we're going to find here, at $215, the Hotchkis suspension front sway bar is nice and stiff. It has 4 points of adjustability, but it doesn't come with any end links. So this is the good option for you if you just want a little bit better handling, but you haven't lowered the car dramatically. Sporting a little bit better reputation in the suspension industry, Eibach is a product that's known for its JDM performance. Now, they make a kit for $240. It only has 2 adjustment points, and it doesn't include any end links either, but it includes the bushings you need for install. Another great price product for your 350Z. And lastly, if you're looking to make a little bit more serious investment in sway bars, take a look at the full Whiteline front and rear sway bar kit. Now, of course, they do sell their front and rear bars separately, their adjustable end links separately, but for $570, you can buy their full kit, which includes their chromoly spring steel front bar, which is 3-way adjustable, the spring steel rear bar, which is 2-way adjustable, their adjustable end links, which are really nice. They're like machined aluminum. Their clamp-on lateral locks, which is better than the welded-on lateral locks, which affect the structural integrity of the bar, and polyurethane bushings. All that for $570 from a company that specializes in bushings and sway bars. We think Whiteline is a great value, and especially if you're doing track days, this is the kit that you're going to want. We'll put a link to that in the description. Now you can definitely make more suspension mods to your 350Z, like if you're trying to slam more than 2 inches, you might need control arms, or you might be looking at airbag suspension. If you're trying to build a drift car, you might be looking at something like an angle kit, and we don't have time to cover all that in this video, maybe next time. But if you're looking to make more power now that you got all your handling sorted out, check out our video over here about exhaust mods for your 350Z. And if you liked this video, subscribe to our channel. And as usual, when you're shopping for your mods, check us out at Motoroso.com. We love hooking people up with great products at great prices, and you can call us toll-free at 833-MOTOROSO. Thanks for watching.